All right. Well, you wanted proof how God doesn't exist. Well, how about you prove to me that He does exist? I can prove to you saying, well, who's seen Him? I mean, if you can clearly say this car moves or this does that and whatever, well, how do you know? How do you know that's God? How do you know? I mean, obviously it's man-made. It's if you really want to think about this, if you go back, God, I don't know how many years, whenever the Bible was written, who wrote that? How does he know any of those stories were true? Sure, Jesus was around. The Bible was written in a time where people had no clue about science or no clue about the diseases or anything. They looked towards God as a father figure and an authority and something that laid down the line and said, if you if you do this right, I'll reward you with this. Which in turn was a really good idea, I mean, it really put people in line, which formed, I guess, the whole way people act. I mean, sure, religion did have a good impact, but was it actually right? No, I don't believe so. Um, Everyone was just so narrow-minded and just they argued about whatever religion was right or wrong, and nobody knows. To this day, nobody knows what religion is right or wrong, which is why I don't think there is such a religion. I mean, I think that people can have their own opinion, yeah, but I mean, as far as right or wrong, who knows? I like to think more of a broader perspective of things, such as like space, for instance. We're obviously not the only galaxy. We're obviously not the only planet. We're obviously not the only country. You gotta think outside the box, outside the whole thing. And if some of these Christians would just look at some of Darwin's work, some of his evidence and some of the evidence today. I mean, there's hundreds of videos on YouTube proving Darwin was right. I mean, one of the ones I can think of is they put some kind of lizard or something in a different country, and 30 years later they went back and checked, and this lizard had evolved another organ or something like that. I can't really remember what it was, but anyway, it adapted to its environment, which is something that God didn't obviously do. It's something that happened on its own over time. Progressively, it developed to adapt. I mean, that's how we got here today. Um, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is I think religion should really be rethought, and you should really rethink how you decide what you believe in. I mean, you might have to be forced to believe in what you believe in because your parents or your aunt or your uncle believed in that religion, and it just followed your whole family line from the start. And that's basically how it went. You're born Christian and you were raised Christian. You're a Christian. You're not going to change your beliefs. And now that society changes today, I think that we all have a different view of things. We're more of our own thinkers. We try to think on our own mind and our own thought process. We don't let a lot of the things influence the way we make our decisions, which we do, but some of the things that I don't believe people should base their opinion on is something that is really, 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 really old and hasn't been updated in who knows how long. Um, some of the stuff in the Bible, for instance, how that there's no way any of that could be true if you just really would think about this. Think about all the science and everything we've come across about through all these years. Do you really still believe in the Bible just because some guy, some person, some people, something wrote it so long ago and they had no clue what they were talking about, obviously, because science has proved them wrong so many times and continues to do so.